Hi everyone, I'm Rae Taylor-Burns. I'm a postdoc, and today I'm going to be sharing about advancing nature-based insurance. So there's a wide body of evidence that nature reduces physical risk from disasters. We know that meadows slow the spread of wildfire. We know that urban forests reduce heat island effects. We know that coral reefs reduce wave energy from storms, and we know that wetlands reduce flooding, for example. This is an example of nature reducing risk locally. On the left, we have stream gauge discharge on Otter Creek, measured both upstream in Rutland and downstream in Middlebury. And in between the two, we have a very healthy wetland. And in Tropical Storm Irene, the Vermont flood of 2023, and the rain on snow event of December 23, across all those storms, the downstream discharge was lower than the upstream discharge because the wetland was able to kind of mitigate the flood risk. So despite all this evidence, the main way that we manage risk in society is typically through insurance, and insurance doesn't really see nature. So what would it look like for insurance markets to account for nature's risk reduction benefits? Well, habitat restoration could be recognized as risk mitigation. Ecosystems that are damaged in a catastrophe could be insured, and payouts could be used for restoration. And policyholders could pay lower premiums if they stewarded local habitat to reduce risk from disasters. Believe it or not, all these things have actually already happened, but they're kind of small case studies on the fringes. And the real bread and butter of the insurance industry is property insurance. Every year, $1.2 trillion is spent on property insurance premiums, and if only a small fraction of this money could be redirected for conservation and restoration, it could really meaningfully fill the gap of funding for nature and funding for climate adaptation. So in a project I've been working on with colleagues at UC Santa Cruz, we've been exploring how to get this done. We outlined key frontiers in nature-based insurance and identified recommendations to accelerate innovation and uptake along these frontiers. And our recommendations came into a couple key themes: building client demand for nature-based insurance, increasing capacity to design and implement nature-based insurance policies, cross-sector relationships, advancing the science on modeling the risk reduction benefits of nature, supporting pilot projects, and regulation innovation. We have a paper coming out in AGU Earth's Future where you could learn more about the details of all this, but the general idea is that by redirecting some small amount of money that is already being spent on insurance to invest it in nature, this would benefit nature, thereby reducing risks and lowering insurance costs and keeping insurance viable in areas of the world where many insurers are having to back out because risks are just too high. So we propose this sort of mutually beneficial circle where insurance can support nature and nature can likewise support insurance. Thanks very much.